I don't care where you come from, if you're big or you're small. I fought the best, and I beat them all. If you're English or Irish, you won't have to die. But if you are a German, you can kiss your ass goodbye. I'm an evil Scotsman, and Jack is my name. If you don't like the rules, don't play the fucking game. Yes, I'm an evil Scotsman. My name is Jock, and the girls are just dying for a portion of my 10-inch cock. Oh yeah. Fuck 'em. Wankers. No bends.
Evil Scotsman there. No, I was sitting in St Enoch Square in Glasgow the other day, and for those that don't know it, there is a big screen, a big huge advertisement screen on top of the shopping centre which you can see from the square. And I looked up there and I seen this thing saying, it was an RBS advertisement, and do you know what it said? I'll tell you, right? It said, instead of RBS, right, RBS, it said RB yes, right? So basically RB yes for an independent Scotland. And the only thing that could go through my head at that moment in time was, well, hold on a minute, when all the banks were crumbling and falling to bits, and the banks were really struggling with money, who was it that helped the poor banks? The British taxpayer? Probably not because they wanted to help, but because there was a big pot of money there that the government could willingly use, which that pot only existed for the coffers scraped from the common man and working man, woman in Britain. So, RB yes is a bit of a kick in the balls to me as a taxpayer, to be honest. And I hold an RBS bank account. Well, I did until last Thursday when I went into the bank there and then, and I withdrew my 79 pence and closed the account. So that was just my theories on it. That was just my thoughts on it. It might. Now, I'm not too sure if RBS was one of the banks that were failing, right? So, on the other side of it, the other thing I was thinking about was, what about all the unionists that are in RBS? Now, I know that there is plenty of people with a lot of money. Now, I know quite a lot of people within Scotland with a lot of money that are in RBS, big business accounts and such. And not one of them that I know is a nationalist. So what I think needs to happen is unionists need to bring this to the attention publicly. To the public attention that RBS is a kick in the balls to everybody that's in the bank that doesn't agree with a yes vote. And I would genuinely try and destroy them to the point where all unionists take their money out that bank and put it in somewhere else. You know, all banks are shit, but RB yes, it's probably the biggest amount of shit I've ever heard.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I broke, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's growing over you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home with you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. And I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles and fall down at your door.
That's a lovely wee change to the normal shows. A nice wee bit of Scotland right in the heart of a regimental blues sash bash. Absolutely great. So we already spoke about RB Yes, right? We already spoke on Friday about the Get a Grip campaign. And what I'm going to talk to you about just now is the Regimental Blues three-pronged attack. This is our proposed method to try and get things changed within the Loyalist, Protestant and Unionist community that we hold so dear. So the three-pronged attack will consist of Get a Grip at the very forefront. So try and picture a trident, alright? A trident. You've got Get a Grip at the front, at the first main pike. Your left-hand pike will be a Regimental Blues Vote No campaign. One of the ideas we have right now is RB for GB. Could be one of the ones that could be the slogan for the campaign, and the other one that everybody's buzzing about is the anti-republicanism campaign, which will be on the right-hand side of the trident. That will conclude the three-pronged attack that Regimental Blues have proposed. And in my opinion, as a pressure group, I cannot see anyone else that have really attempted it recently, to be honest. So, we will, within the Vote No campaign, target your man that I've just said there, RBS, for pure ignorance towards all their customers. That is a pure ignorant slogan. You look at your Yes campaign, alright? How can we maybe give them a knock here and there? Apart from every time you see a couple of them on the street handing out leaflets, I don't mean go grab them by the throat or grab them in a headlock and steal their leaflets. I don't mean that. But try and get one over on them guys. And of course, look at your Nicola Sturgeon, right? The witch behind the cauldron, right? And look at Alex Salmond. the arse behind the hole. Alright? That didn't even make sense there. Sounded good at the time. Alex Salmond, the asshole beneath the tail, we'll call it, alright? The only one that I could see, right? The best one that I've seen so far was that Vote No campaign, right? I was talking to a few guys in it and I was pretending I was a nationalist, trying to get stuff out of them, and one of them said, I'm not officially with the Yes campaign, but I do some work for them. And I said, alright mate, cool, what ideas did you have? He's like, well, what I'm going to plan, I'm going to plan on writing to like airlines and getting them to maybe put slogans on their planes. And I said, that's an idiotic idea, right? I never actually said that. I said, alright, so like you're British Airways and that? And he said, aye, that was the main one I was thinking of, because they're British, they're big. And this guy's talking to me as an nationalist. Yeah, they're British, they're big. And I'm like, you don't have a fucking clue. You've got to ask British Airways to put Vote Yes for Scottish independence. And you could just see it though, couldn't you? British Airways, big Union flag on their tail, and right across the front of their plane or the side of it, British Airways sponsors a Vote Yes. What an absolute idiotic bunch of rebels. But then, see, on the other thing, right, the other thing I wanted to talk about, right, about trying to be proud Scots again, because it's been hammered at me. See, when I saw Independence campaign, it's beat me down to the point where I'm not proud to be Scottish anymore, alright? I used to love the fact that Scotland was one of the second biggest in Britain, right? Scotland was the second biggest nation within the Empire. And I used to be proud of the fact that I was Scottish within the British Empire. I really used to be proud of that. Now I'm not, right? But then it gets me thinking, look at how much Scotland has contributed to the Empire. So much. Looking from the ground up, from your common working man in the factories, your common working woman in the factories as well, all the way up to your inventors, because Scots, engineering geniuses, a lot of them, all the way up to your armed forces. Wow. There's a big wow right there. There is no bigger renowned soldier than the Scots, than the Jocks, as are known in the military world. The Jocks are just a fearsome bunch of troops. And without the Jocks, I really don't think the Union would have got to as big as what it was, because the Jocks are just brilliant. As I seen this thing on Facebook, which made me proud this morning, which made me go on and do this show tonight. It was a picture of a bagpiper on the beaches of Normandy, and it says, bagpipes played at Normandy, not the French horn, because it was the bagpipes that liberated France. Right? And it's brilliant because I done a wee bit of research, and there was one of a couple of boats of the Scots, and when they were coming to a couple of metres of the shore on Normandy beaches, and just as they deployed out, there was a bagpiper, and he walked right off the boat, into the water, up the sand, and he did eventually obviously fall, but that's wow. What kind of brave soul would walk towards German guns like that, just playing bagpipes? It's simply magnificent. So, aye, we need to get proud again. I reckon if Unionists in Scotland became proud Scots, proud Scottish Unionists, I reckon that could probably turn it. I reckon if the Unionists became proud to be Scottish again, instead of resenting it